So today I have a master of manifesting, Amanda Took, and today her new book is released, and it was, let me remember the precise, the Angel Mystics Manifesting Manual.
Yeah.
It's out on Kindle, available today for £1 only, and just for today. So I will put all the links for you to download. And I wanted to have this conversation with Amanda so you hear her story, why you need to buy her book, because she's truly the master of manifestation. It's not just written rules, but I know that Amanda lives them every day. That's why, like, you are living proof of it. So can you introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, I am Amanda Took, known as the Angel Mystic, and I like to turn the woo-woo into woohoo in people's lives. So I like to make it grounded, understandable, easy and fun, because I believe that we're all spiritual beings and we can all tap into energy and use it to create the life that we want. So that's sort of what I'm really about. And I guess I've proved that I've proved it over and over again, but with this book, I mean, it's a manifesting book, and it went to #1 bestseller in the UK and the US on pre-sales alone. So if that isn't proof that manifesting works.
It's phenomenal that you got the bestseller status even before today, because usually what happens when people release the book and then all the activities happen, interviews happen, and then book reaches bestseller status. For you, you manifested it way before
I
actual
know.
release.
It took me by surprise, if I'm honest, because in my logical head, and this is a prime example why we should not do the how, but in my head, I was thinking, well, today will be the day that I'll be watching Amazon for it to climb the ranking and it'll hit #1. But it didn't. It hit it on Wednesday, on the first day of pre-sales. So it was like, what? And then on the Thursday, it went to #1 in the US as well. So it was like, blimey. But this is it. When we're manifesting, we often, we decide what it is we want because we always need clarity. And then we think about how something's going to come to us. And I can't tell you how many times people think about what it is they want. And then they think, right, I need to win the lottery to get it.
Mm-hmm.
And that is not how you manifest. No.
So you focus on the result itself rather how it comes about, right?
Yeah. You focus on what it is that you want, and get real crystal clear I can't speak. I've been speaking too much today. That's the problem. Crystal clear clarity around what it is that you want. Get your head and your heart in alignment with it. It's no good asking for something if you don't feel worthy and deserving of it. You've got to, be in it 100%, for it to align. You've got to feel it first. So those questions of what is it that you want and why you want it and how will it feel are really, really important. I cover all of them in the book because, what you want, it isn't that you just want a new job or a new house or a new relationship or business success. You've got to break that down and be really clear about exactly what that is that you want. And then you've got to think about, the how, and not how it'll come to you, because that's not your job. That's the universe. You've got to think of how it'll feel when you've got it. And you've got to feel that now. So though you only want what it is that you want because you believe it's going to make you happy. So if it is a new job that you want, or a business success, or a new house or relationship, you only want those things because you believe it's going to make you happy. So you've got to feel those things first. So if, for example, business success, if it was that you were sort of driven towards, how would it feel for you to have that business success? Would you feel established? Would you feel proud? So how can you feel those things now? Because you've got to feel it first, before it can come to you. You've got to align, you've got to match. So it's really important to do that.
Absolutely. And I think when we focus on how first, And usually when we make our wish, I think we put it through the filter, whether it's realistic in terms whether it's believable to have it. And when we don't understand the house, we kind of postpone the wish or dismiss altogether.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm.
So, can you tell us what you do apart from writing a book? Because this is not your first book. And also for all of you who are watching this interview, I asked Amanda to give us a guided message, so angel message in the end, because this is how I came across Amanda for the first time when you were doing like a card readings on Periscope, and it was probably 5 years ago.
Yeah, yeah. It was a while back, wasn't it, in Periscope days?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm all about angels and law of attraction. They're my two specialist subjects. So I do anything around that. I have a membership site called Abundance Club, which is a monthly membership site. It's like my little manifesting family where we learn to manifest, to create a daily practice that works for you, because it's important that you feel as good as you can for as long as you can, so you're naturally attracting good things to you, but having a practice that works and is flexible so you don't feel like you fall off your manifesting wagon. So we have like different levels within that. We have like non-negotiable, basic and advanced. So if you're having a bad day, you can slip into non-negotiable and be running late and still get everything done that you need to do and keep your energy aligned, so you never have that feeling like, oh, I've come off track, you know. So Abundance Club is a big part of my business, and I also run like group programs online. You know, pre-COVID, there was other things going on, but the majority of my business is online. I do run retreats, Angels in Anglesey, and sometimes do events when we're allowed to do that sort of stuff again. But yeah, I have my first book. Yeah, my first book is here. Do I have an angel? That was 7 years ago, because this business is 11 years old this year in December.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's been going a while. And now obviously my second book is out on Kindle today and will be out on paperback later in the month. So it's very exciting. And I have my angel cards, which I will, yes, love to give you all a guided message on later. But that's sort of what I do, really. You know, I do one-to-one work coaching as well, and occasional readings.
So how did you discover your manifesting powers? How did it start?
Well, it started, everything started sort of, everything gathered momentum, shall I say, in 2000 when I was going through my divorce. And, you know, life wasn't really going to plan, you could say. So I started asking the angels for help. The angels started, you know, answering. But I always wanted to be a stay-at-home mum. That was, you know, my dream. And when I was married, that's what I was. But then when the marriage failed, I had to then go out and work, and I didn't like it. Not because I don't like work, but because I wasn't at home with my children. So one day I was driving, I lived in Windermere at the time, and I was driving from Windermere to Bowness, and there was this B&B. I was in actually a traffic jam, and there was this B&B. I just thought, you know what? A B&B would be a really good business to be in for me, so that I could be a stay-at-home mum again. And it would be an income, you know, for me and the kids. And that was sort of the real start of sort of playing around with law of attraction to see if it would work. And it did work, because I ended up, well, I won't tell you the full story because it's in the book, but I did end up getting this B&B. It wasn't a straightforward route, but the angels definitely delivered. And from then on in, I have just been playing around with it, really, and working out what works and what doesn't work, until I've got it into a really good place where I know exactly what works. And that's now what I teach. Because when I wrote this first book was, like I say, 7 years ago. It was written around doing the school run, got up super early to, you know, squeeze it in before I started work. and it was a rush, and it was hard work in that sense. My second book wasn't the same. My second book was started in a beautiful cottage that I rented for a week just on my own, me and my little dog, and we went to Wales, and that's where I sort of drafted out the first sort of part of my book and knew what I was going to put in it. And then I put it on pause for a few years because, you know, you just start something and then don't quite finish it. And then when lockdown came, I thought I need to get this, you know, I wanted something positive to come from lockdown. So my book came from lockdown. It got finished in that period. But it was just about really working out what worked and what didn't work. And one of my favourite stories I love to share to inspire people not to do the how is when I wanted a holiday when I was moving house, because I've moved house a lot. And I've gone from, you know, being broke as a joke, living on benefits, up to my eyes in debt, not having a very good car, really, really struggling financially. And I've gone to living in a lovely house, amazing holidays, hot tub. I've had 2 Range Rovers. You know, life has changed in a material sense, but most of all, what it's given me is the inner peace that I have every day, and that feeling that if I want something, I know I can create it. But my one particular day, as we were moving house, because I've moved house a lot of times, 18 to be precise. I know it's a lot. And I was moving, and I said to the kids, oh, I'm so tired. When we've moved house, I'm going to manifest as a holiday. And they went, what sort of holiday? Like, you know, yeah, whatever. I said, we're going to manifest a cruise. And as we were moving, my vision board fell apart. And all that was left on my vision board was a cruise ship, and it was stuck at the side of my desk for a few weeks. Anyway, one day after moving house, my phone like beeped and a message flashed up, and it said, fancy a free cruise, 12 nights around the Canaries. And it was one of my one-to-one clients that gifted me a free cruise.
Wow.
Unbelievable. So, you know, we must not do the how. If I'd been doing the how then, I would have been thinking, well, I need to think about where I want to go, and I need to think about what cruise liner, and I need to think about how much money I need to save up and all of that. And I didn't have to do any of that. I just had to say yes. So pretty amazing.
Yeah. And it sounds like simple enough, but I guess you need to get to that state of knowing how to feel around your dreams.
Yeah, and also trusting that everything is always going to work out for you. Yeah.
Excellent. And in regards to your book, like who this book is for in terms, is it beginner manifestators or seasoned? You know, people who tried manifesting,
Yeah.
would it still be good book for them?
It's a really good question. It is for everyone. I know that sounds, you know, a very general answer, but the fact is that we all know that sometimes we can manifest the little things, but not the big things. So sometimes we can do the parking spaces, but we can't actually manifest, you know, what we really, really want. So this is the book that I have a dream for this book, and I have a dream that everyone ends up buying the paper copy eventually.
Mm-hmm.
And this paper copy ends up being dog-eared and loved, and pages folded back and little tabs stuck in it, and people write in it, and right, because I want it to be like almost like the Bible that they go to when they need it, when they so they know it works because they proved it to themselves, and then when they do fall off their manifesting wagon, they can keep going back to it and you know, referencing it. I want it to be one of those books that you never want to lend to anyone else because you want to keep it for yourself because it's so valuable to you.
Yeah. And you know, I consider myself like semi-seasoned manifester. And when I flick through, you know, on Kindle, or you can flick through, and just randomly when it stopped, I looked up for the message, and this is what I found, and I put already on Instagram. Think of manifesting as a dance with the universe. When you first learn to dance, it might feel uncomfortable, tricky, hard to remember the steps. You might stumble, trip and fall, but if you keep dancing it will become easier, fun, and feel like second nature. It's amazing.
Mm.
And I think it's such also as a reminder how we need to treat manifesting like fun. And also I think it is like a muscle.
Mm.
Yes, you probably learn the dance at some point, but the more you practice, the
Yeah,
better you become.
absolutely. Always telling people to work your manifesting muscle. So practice on the things that have little of no importance. So, you know, often they say parking spaces, but I go one step further than that. And like say, the bin needs emptying in the house. So I'll think, I'll manifest that. So I'll visualize somebody taking the rubbish out, or somebody emptying the dishwasher, or somebody making me a cup of tea. So there's everyday little things that you can work your manifesting muscle on, because quite honestly, it's no different manifesting them than it is something really big that you want. No difference at all.
Right. Okay, and I know that you are doing some free classes as well very soon.
Yes, this week and next week I've got some money classes going on. It's a two-part training to help people sort of clear some money blocks. I mean, I do cover some of that within the book. There's a lot of fears, blocks, and limiting beliefs. But the money class, the two-part money class, there's one on, let me get my dates right. There's one this Thursday at 4 o'clock, and it's called Expand Your Wealth Consciousness and Be a Money Magnet. And then next Wednesday there is one at 7:30, and it's called Heal Your Money Story and Become a Master Manifester. And they're totally free trainings, and all you've got to do is register your place, and that's it, you're away.
Excellent. I will put the links to those classes as well as and the link to your Kindle book. And today on Monday, which is 19th of October, you have a chance to get it for £1 only. It's like it's nothing.
I know.
So yeah. Can you give us a message like for everyone who is watching?
We sure can. This is the message, nature. Now, this is a really, really interesting message at the moment, because obviously there's more and more restrictions coming back in if you're in the UK anyway. And so maybe getting out feels further away. And, you know, this is all about grounding. It's about being in nature. It's a place where we can connect. But whilst we do have restrictions at the moment going on, and we perhaps can't go to the places that we really love to go. I'm a big coast person. I love to be by the sea. What you can do is you can go within. And I think at the moment that's a really important thing to do, to go within, to sharpen up your intuition, to listen to your angels, to get guidance, and work on your inner world, because when you work on your inner world, that becomes your outer world.
Lovely. Yeah. And I think it's so easy to get bogged down by all the restrictions and feeling frustrated, whereas you can use this time, creatively.
Yeah, yeah. You've got to take a reframe on it, haven't you, Inga?
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Amanda, for your time. I know you're busy doing interviews, and it's so nice that I had this opportunity to introduce you to my audience.
Oh, thank you for asking me. Appreciate it.